Howdy, everybody. Yeah, so today we're going to be streaming a little bit. We're going to start a new series here. We're going to build out a changelog application, not specifically just in this lesson, but through several lessons. So, or streams. We're streaming. This isn't a recording. Happy Friday. So I'm thinking for this one, I might use Daisy UI for the actual components so that I don't have to sit here and play around with a bunch of classes. But yeah, so to start out with, let's go ahead and get a project going here. So let's jump into here, clear that out, and let's do nope. And, npm init AdonisJS app at latest. And let's call this changelog app. And we'll select web, get webpack. There we go. For some reason, I always have to sit here for a second. Remember, do I want npm, npx, node on that initial command there? So we'll let that do its thing. I have a basic idea of what I want to do for the database side of things, schema-wise. I sat here for a little bit and jotted some notes out for it. But if you're not familiar with it, Daisy UI does play off of TailwindCSS, so we will need to get TailwindCSS up and running in order to actually use Daisy UI, but it'll help us in the long run by cutting out the need of creating our own buttons, alerts, modals, drop downs, all that fun stuff. And I'm iffy on whether or not I want to use unpoly on this, so that's why I'm not reaching. There is a specific package. You search for the awesome AdonisJS repository, there's a specific package that kind of merges the two together. I can't remember the name of it. Edge components. So this will take Daisy UI and they've kind of created edge components for them. Currently doesn't support unpoly, which is why I will just be copying and pasting stuff directly from Daisy UI instead of using this package for right now. But do know that this is out there as an option if you don't care about unpoly. It does support Alpine, so be a good alternative option for you. And our project should be created by now. There we go. Let's go ahead and cd into it. All right, so npm I at AdonisJS. We will want Lucid for sure. Auth. We'll get mail. And that should be okay for right now. Oh. And PHCR gone too. Can't forget about that one. All right. So I've actually never used Daisy UI. So this will be my first time reaching for it. So if I seem a little lost in what I'm reaching for or what the actual classes that I need to use are, apologies in advance. All right, so those are done. So let's configure them. Postgres. Alrighty, let me go ahead and copy these. There's PG all the way up to DB. Give that a copy. Let's see, do I have, yeah, I can use this. Open folder. I'm trying out a new theme. Let me know whether or not you like it more or less than the GitHub theme that I usually use. Changelog app. There we go. Okay, env.ts. There we are. Oop. Got a new mouse and I'm not used to the scrolling. It scrolls really fast vertically. And I haven't been able to find how to change that yet. So there we go. Alrighty, let's continue onward. Node ace. I'll have to set up my DB here in a second, so don't let me forget about that. Node ace configure at AdonisJS auth Lucid web. I'm also going to select API tokens just because I think I'll need a tokens table in the future. And why not let Adonis create that for me? Model name will be user. We'll have it create a migration for us. API tokens in the database. That's good. Yes, please. There we go. Alrighty. And then node ace configure at AdonisJS mail. Should be the last one. I'll be going with mail trap. So I'll just do SMTP for right here. And copy, missed one. Copy the SMTP and paste this in here as well. All right, so I need to create a database. Let me hop into here. And let me get this up on, I always miss where you need to click on this because the click area is so small to drag it over. All right, there we go. Let me close this out. And I think it's this one. Let me hit new on this and we'll call this, just changelog is good. All right, so that should be our database created. Let me go ahead and see if I can double click it and just open it up. Cool. All right. So let me go update the env variables for that. Host is fine. User is Postgres. Password is password. Database name, we just set it to changelog, so that should be good. Now let's go ahead and get our SMTP stuff set on up here. Just use Mailtrap for this locally. Alrighty. Oh, I need to resize my Visual Studio Code here as well, so that I don't accidentally go off screen. Add inbox, call this changelog, boom, show credentials, copy that there, username. Let me resize this before I forget. Actually, I gotta get OBS back up before I do that. All right. I really wish Visual Studio Code would remember window sizes whenever you open up new ones. There we go. All right, so I have my username copied, so I'm going to paste that in there and get the password. All right. There we go. So that should be all set up. Next, let's go ahead and I guess start working on our TailwindCSS. Let's get that set up next. And I can never remember off the top of my head what all I need to install for that. So it looks like Post CSS Loader and TailwindCSS, referencing the old lesson that I set up for that. So I got to copy npm ID and TailwindCSS. Get those installed. Alrighty. And then it's npx TailwindCSS, I think. Okay. Ah, it's init. Okay. There we go. Always fun when you have to reference your old lessons. All right, so go ahead and hide credentials there. Let's go ahead and I guess first let's get itself boot up and let's verify that. Oh, well, we have a couple of other things that we need to change within the Webpack config. Let's see, post CSS loader, post CSS loader, post CSS loader. There we go. And then, oh, I closed that lesson too soon. Come back into here. quick tips. There we go. All right. Let's see. That's what I needed. So it's called postcss.config.js. I don't do it enough to memorize the actual file name I need there. postcss.config.js. Paste that in there. Alrighty. So now we should be okay. Well, nope, wait, one more thing. Oh, two more things. All right. Configure the content. It's a good thing I made a lesson for this. See, the lessons aren't just for you guys. I use them too. Where's that Tailwind config? There it is. Plop that in there. And that's the one I was looking for right there. And resources, nope, CSS down. There you go. All right, I'm gonna just plop all that in there. Cool. So let's go boot up our server and test to make sure that we have all that. Let me close the browser I have open over here so that OBS will stay open. Hey, Alfrato. Says I'm actually considering exploring Adonis for a messaging app I've already built in Laravel, but can't seem to get enough reason to switch. It's really up to you and the languages that you know. Like if you're a lot more comfortable with PHP, then I don't see any reason why not work in PHP. But if you're more comfortable in JavaScript, that's the situation that I'm in, then I would recommend trying out Adonis and giving it a go, because you'll find that there's actually a lot of similarities between it and Laravel, so it's actually a pretty easy switch. All right, so we have our server booted up. Let's go ahead and let me make sure it opened up at 333. Okay. Sometimes I leave servers running on old apps and it ends up opening up on a different port. All right, so let's jump into our welcome page and do the old text red 500 there. Boom. Cool. It's working. All right, now let's get Daisy UI installed. One more up. There we go. All right. npm I Daisy UI. I don't know why I'm typing it in. I have it copied. There we go. All right. I should be able to get the, well, hold on a minute. I think we need to change something. Yeah, Tailwind config. Add that into the plugin. Tailwind config plugins. There we go. All right, now we should be good to boot up our server again. npm run dev. Yeah, anytime, man. And good luck if you do give the, or good luck if you do decide to give Adonis a try. It's really fun to work with. I think you'll enjoy it. Alrighty, so we should now have, ooh, look at that. As I said before, I've never worked with Daisy UI before, so I was not expecting a dark theme out of the bat. But I guess we'll roll with it. I don't know. We'll roll with it for right now anyway. All right, let me get rid of my text red test. Cool. So next, let's go ahead and start working on some of the database stuff. So I wrote down a couple of the things that we'll need. We should already have our users. So let's dive into our database migration. So we have our user and our API tokens. I do want to add into that a roles table. So let me open up a new tab on that. And let's do, let's see. Make model role and -m to create a migration for that. Node ace make, well, before I move onward, let me move that up inside of the migration to above our users. So let me copy the user's timestamp there and rename the timestamp here and subtract a second. There we go. Or I guess that would be a millisecond. Make So we'll have a roles table, users table, team users table, categories, category posts, and posts. So I'm trying to think through the exact order because I wrote them down in a really random order. So roles before users, then we have our users already. So then we'll do, I guess you would need a team before you have everything else. So we'll do team next. And make model team. And we'll go ahead and create a controller for this. I'm not 100% certain whether, yeah, we'll need a team controller. So we'll create a controller for that. Node ace make migration team users, because that'll be a many-to-many relationship, so we won't need a model for that. Node ace make model I guess it doesn't matter whether or not we do categories or posts first, so we'll do categories first. Category MC node ace make model, and we got posts, and node ace make migration category posts. Alrighty, and I did forget to write down one thing, so I'm going to write it down before I forget. So our post does need a team ID, because if I don't have it written down, I will forget. All right, there we go. So should be good to go ahead and start filling out these columns. So we have our roles, table dot string name, and really 20 characters should be, I will do 25, not nullable. And then our user will, no, the user role will go on the team users. So then we have our users and our API tokens. Those should be okay as is already. So then we have our teams. And this will have table, string name, not nullable, table string slug, not nullable, and we will require that to be unique. I guess that's all I have for that for right now. Team user, table dot integer, team ID, unsigned, references ID in table teams, and not nullable. Integer user ID, unsigned, references ID in table users, not nullable, and one more for the role. Actually, we can get rid of the default. Well, yeah. And then, yeah, we gotta make the rules first. So I'm gonna go ahead and place a enums folder within app. You could put this within or contracts if you feel that's more appropriate to your usage. I tend to use these as values as well, so that's why I, whoa, what did I just do? Enum roles. So we'll have just a user. Well, we'll have an admin as one user. Yeah, we'll just do an admin and a user for right now. Alrighty. Then we'll default this to roles.user. There we go, now it imported. All right, I think that's the first batch done. Let's go ahead and get those roles created here as well. So this defer. quiet down there. Goodness. Dog scratching away. Sorry. All right. And then we should be able to do wait db dot table. This table name dot multi-insert. All right. Name, wait, admin comes first. Admin, and the name is admin. Name and user. Okie doke. So now that should create those two roles for us whenever we actually migrate this table. We left off, we got teams, we got team users. So that gives us categories next. So we have a string of a name. Give this some kind of a color as well. I'm thinking just do a Tailwind class for that value, or at least for right now. And then a team ID. Alrighty. So that should be it for categories. Then we have posts, which is underneath my mic. So let me move that over there. And I'm going to look a little weird as I look over my shoulder to read it. Table dot string title. No, that one should be text. Table dot text body. We'll leave that one as. And then user ID. And the note that I put down of team ID. And I always have a tendency to do this. Forget to put the not nullable on the relationship. It's never fun. Let's make sure I have it. Yeah, forgot to do it there too. I remembered it there. Okay. And that leaves us with, well, yeah, that's all I got there. Let me get rid of the extra line. And that leaves us with the post category, category ID, and post ID. All right, so integer, category ID. Oh, and table categories, not nullable. Team unsigned references ID in table teams and not nullable. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so that should be all of our migrations set up. Let me go ahead and run those to make sure that I don't have any, that I didn't mess anything up there. So node ace migration run. Voila, cool. So next, let's populate these inside of our models. So we have category, post, role. I'm going to start in the order of, see, all that we did was add a name to the role. So let me go ahead and do that. Boom. Cool. And then for users, we didn't change users at all, so it should be the same. Same with the API tokens. So we have teams, which has a name and a slug. So we have at column public name string and at column public slug string. I'll pull in Adonis slugify whenever we get around to actually creating that CRUD logic there for that. And then team users, which is many to many, so we don't need to worry about that. And then we have our category of team ID, name, and color. So at color, column, public, team ID, number. I blanked on this completely. What was it? Name and color. Good grief. All right. At column, public, name, string, and at column, public, color, string. Cool. And then I think that, nope, we got post yet. So post, let me go ahead and copy these. Paste it in there. Alrighty. What? Shoot. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. They're 50-50, so I'm just going to write string for all, and we'll change these ones to numbers. I forgot to do that. Forgot to hit enter on them, so they had a line break on them. Okay, next we have relationships. So start with a role, since that will only have one. So at column, or wait a minute. Role is to, why did I create a role table? Or model? All right, I will start with users first. Let's do that. So we have a relationship to a team, and that will be a many to many. So that's many to many there. It just started raining. So what else you got? Post. So that's another many to many. Is that on screen? Yes, it is. Oh, I don't have moderating capabilities within OBS. And now I lost myself. All right, well, I'll just, if it keeps happening, then I'll do something. So post, public posts. Many to many type of post. And I want to say that should be it for the user. And then we have our team. Many to many. User. Public users. Many to many type of user. And this one will have posts as well. I should just copy and paste that, but I'm already typing away, so. Okay, category. Team also has categories. Cool. So that should be our team setup. Let's jump over role and go to post. Post is to user and team. So I'm going to go into team. Oh, no, wait, no, that's not a many to many, so I can't just copy and paste that. That is a belongs to. So at belongs to user, public user, belongs to type of user, and belongs to team. I don't know why I keep forgetting that team's there. Public team, type of team. All right. And did we do category? No, we didn't. All right. At belongs to, couldn't remember whether or not this one belongs to a team, public team belongs to team. No. What did I mess up here? Let me, oh, typo. There we go. Okie doke. I want to say that should be all of them. I know we have the role outstanding here, but I really don't know whether or not we would even need that. So I will stand by at the moment. So let's go ahead and start to think through what we would want for this. Well, I guess we could start with authentication, since we have our users and all that fun stuff there. So we'll set up a sign in and sign up page and we'll work from there. So I have never used this. Let me try using the in all right, maybe, oh, there they are. Make view. And let's put this in auth. Let's do sign up first. Oh, look at that. That's nice. I've never used that before. I always just go into the terminal. Okay, nice. So let's go ahead and make a layout as well. Well, I'm going to do that again. Layouts, call this main. All right. And actually what I've been enjoying doing lately is actually putting pages inside of pages. And then components, it goes inside of components, and you have layouts, and then you have errors. So it just kind of puts everything one level deeper. So I'm going to do that here as well. So I'm going to move my auth inside of pages there. And then I'm going to take my welcome page and I'm going to copy the HTML structure because for some reason I've never installed Emmet on here. So I can't just do HTML5. I don't know why I've never installed Emmet on here, but yeah. So there we go. And we'll change the title to something like our AdonisJS changelog application. And then we will put at section content there. And we'll add in a header here momentarily. Let's just get this set up here. I'm going to copy the main contents from here so that I have something to show. Make sure I did everything right here. At layout, layouts, main, section, content, and our end section. And voila. And actually, I'm going to take a step back, copy that, and go back forward. And I'm going to paste that within here. Do a little sign up there. And let's set up a route for that. Actually, we also need to make a controller. So let me try make controller auth. No. Thank you for asking, though. Okay. So we'll have public async. And we'll do sign up show. Grab view out of there, return view, render, pages, auth, sign up. Doing all types of typos here. Do you, Alfronto asks, do you have to define the data type in the model? As in like the string here? It, I suppose that you could put any there, but it does help you out in the long term because if you try to set something to it whenever you're actually using Lucid, it will block you if it's the wrong type. But yeah, I don't think there's anything that would stop you from just putting any here if you're really not wanting to use TypeScript at all. So should just be able to do that. Actually, you might not even need to. Yeah, it looks like it's, so you can just omit it and then it should just default to any. Yeah, you can see right up here, defaults to any. So yeah, should be no problem there if you want to exclude that. All right, so I think I have my server still running. Yes. Okay, let's go ahead and jump back into here. Let's try to, so our layout's working. Since we just refreshed the home page there, let's go to sign up. And there's our sign up page. Cool. So let me see whether or not there's any type of nav bar that Daisy UI has here. Try to just plop it in. But I got a bottom navigation. Oh, there's a nav bar. Okay. Do you have one with inline items? There's one there, but it's got drop downs. Oh, it's got one that's not. All right, let me copy this. We'll get a header going on so that we don't have to manually close out some of these tabs. I don't think we'll be using Mailtrap today, so we'll go ahead and just close that out. And then let me come into here. Well, we'll need our layout here. So let's go into here and I'll make it a component. Components, header, and let's try pasting that in here. I guess we'll just call this change exclamation point. I don't know. All right, so looks like it's LIA is all that we need to actually do stuff. So we'll put sign up for right now. And then, well, we'll have one for home as well. So let's move that in front and change this to home. Okay. Actually, let me name my home page. Okay. href route home. There we go. href route auth sign up show. All right. And let's add our header into our layout. Yeah, just header. There we go. And there's our header. We got our change exclamation point with the header or home sign up, and I have another. Oh, that's the page content. So let's put this inside of, I guess it needs to be in another div. Let's put that inside of the header. That's weird. Why would that need to be inside of another div? Should just auto take up the full width, you would imagine. Oh. Okay. Oh, I missed the div on my, there we go. All right, that makes sense. Oh yeah, yeah, no, that makes complete sense. Yeah, you should be able to actually with the AdonisJS 4 it was just JavaScript without TypeScript. So with 5 it's the first time that they've implemented TypeScript. So um, for the most part you can write TypeScript. TypeScript is full valid JavaScript, so you should be able to write it just as is with normal JavaScript. So you can omit types wherever. So like we have it within our controller, but there's no need to actually put that in there. What controller do I have that in already? Here. But it does help you out with the autocomplete. So like if I were to type view dot, I get the autocomplete of what's there. But if I take the type declaration off of that and I type in view dot, I don't get anything. So it does help you out quite a bit if you at least use the bare minimum of it, of just like setting some of the Adonis based stuff. All right. So we have our header. I don't like that there's not like a border or anything to tell me where the header ends, but it should suffice. So we can go between our home page and our sign up page there. Let's go ahead and get a form. I guess some type of a container. Let's see, does this have a container so that I can use the same padding? Doesn't look like it. Nope. Okie doke. I will use a Tailwind container then. Go inside of our layout right here, and we'll just put our content inside of a container. So div class equals. Did Tailwind do away with their container classes? Can't remember. Let's see. I guess I did. All right, so then we'll do max width screen. Man, I can't remember what they're. 2XL. Oh, I'm not MXing. Dang it. You know what? That's what I forgot. They do have container, but I didn't MX auto. They didn't include that automatically. There we go. So yeah, there's a, no, that didn't do anything, did it? I'm not really one to be able to speak to speed advantages, but I mean, you're not going to have any disadvantages with Adonis in terms of speed. I mean, it's snappy. There's people who use it with really large and applications that take a lot of payload. I work with C# during the day. That's my daytime job. So I don't have the pleasure of working with either Laravel or Adonis during my day job. So I, this is what I use as my hobby and what I enjoy using in my personal time. So, as in terms of specific advantages, uh, it's hard to say because Adonis is still so young compared to Laravel, and Laravel has a lot of community packages around it. But if you want to get into something where a lot of people are committing their time to help build something, then there's a sense of community there, I think. And it's a pretty tight community at this point in time, and a lot of people on Discord as well. And if you want to join the AdonisJS Discord, there's a link on their homepage as well. It's right here. So you can click on that and then join in. And if you have any issues or anything, then yeah. Yeah, that, I hear you. Yeah, if you hop on the Discord channel and sorry, let me do something about that spammer. If you hop on the Discord channel and ask, I know actually if you look on Twitter, I just saw this earlier today. Harman de Verk is the creator of Adonis, and he tweeted. This is for the next iteration of AdonisJS 6, which will not have many breaking changes, but if at all. Well, yeah, no, it will because it's switching from ESM or to ESM. But he's able to get the speed pretty close to Fastify, but due to the things that it's doing on top of, like with the ORM and all that stuff, it adds complexity to it compared to Fastify. So there's a slowdown there. But compared to Laravel, you should see it should be pretty close, if not better. So. Oh, don't need autoplay there. Let's see, I guess hide user on this channel would be what I want. Okay, that seemed to do it. All right, cool. Not used to moderating live streams. So yeah, cool. So what was I doing? We were in our layouts. Let me see whether or not that container was doing anything. Oh yeah, okay, there it is. It's just because my screen scaled, so it's not, doesn't have that much room to take up. Cool. So that does seem to be working. I'm gonna add a couple of padding on top of that. So px6. Nope, 4. Just trying to get it in line with the start of the nav bar there. There we go. Alrighty, so next, let's go into our sign up page and start working on a form. So sign up. Actually, I'm gonna copy. I might have it open, let me see. Boom, this guy here. I'm gonna copy some code out of our method spoofing lesson. So we have these forms right here. I'm gonna go ahead and just copy all of those and paste them inside of our components. And so these are just helper methods, so that since the standard HTTP doesn't support, or the standard forms don't support post put patch, we can use method spoofing and our components here to make that happen a little bit easier. So put those in there, and then I'll go into config, and I believe it's an app. Yep, allow method spoofing, set that to true. Go back to our sign up at form.post action, and we'll have to set that here momentarily. Alrighty, let's take a look at what the inputs look like for this. Nope, not file. Input, text input, there we go. And give me the one with the border. That'll. All right, let's copy you, and let's get a component going on for that as well. Oh no, I didn't put that in the forms. Let me make a new folder for that. Thought I copied the whole folder. All right, let's plop that into there. There we go. And then I normally put my input in the forms, but I'm gonna have a hard time finding that. So I'm gonna create a new folder. We'll call this inputs, and do text.edge. Put that in there. Is there a form group by chance? No. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Build my own. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this inside of a label. And if label, then I don't know what colors they're using, so I'll just use opacity. All right. There we go. Whoops. Break this down into a new line. Alrighty. And then or no, let's put the flash value first. So flash message. Now I'm second guessing myself. Is it messaging or message? I think it's message. Should be able to provide the name into there. That reminds me, we also need a name. It's flash messages. That's what it is. There we go. All right, and then that should be errors.name. Otherwise, the passed in value there. Otherwise, the passed in errors there. All right. Then we should be able to do, I have an errors example. It does not. All right. Well, that doesn't take a whole lot to do that. So let's do div class text extra small, text right, text red 500, and put that inside of an if. Errors and errors.length. Okay. Then we can do errors join, since it'll be an array, as a comma delimited list. Cool. Well, actually, we can make this a little bit better when we do array is array. That way we verify that it's an array before we try to read an array. There we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and try to use this. We should, let's see, brain wanted to reach for forms. So let's do inputs dot, trying to verify that named it inputs dot text. I don't like the word text because I have the type specifiable, but it'll suffice for now. So we'll have a user name. Oh, I did forget. We do need to add that to the user. All right, so yeah, we didn't add it in. Well, no, I think I put it onto the migration. Just forgot to put it on the model. Let me double check that. Users. I did not. All right, well then table string username. And we'll require that to be unique. Let me go ahead and rerun my migrations. Let me see what they have for this. Migration, refresh. Yeah, I'll just run it in the terminal. Whoops. Whoa, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. That did what I wanted. I'm not used to using the in Visual Studio Code commands there. I normally go to the terminal, so I wasn't quite sure what I was doing there. Cool, so we should have our username on the user table now. So we'll have our username here. The type will be text by default. We don't need to specify a value or errors. It should auto pick that up off of the flash messages. So then, oh, I do need an exclamation point there. The exclamation point's because I don't have an end. I have an end for the form, but the exclamation point denotes that this is self-ending. So we'll have text, name, email, type, email, and that's why I don't like that I named it text, but yeah, I normally do it forms.input, but I'm changing it up here. Inputs dot, we'll have one more for password. Oh, I need to put a label on these too. Type of password. All right. Label. There we go. Username, email, and password. Cool. Now we need a button. Well, let me verify and make sure that the inputs are working before I try to move on to a button there. Template extending a layout can only use @section or @set tags as top level nodes. What did I do wrong? Let's see. Close up those. Let's see here. We should have inputs. It was it the form or the text that it was complaining about? Try getting rid of the form and see whether or not it still complains. Because it might have been my layout that I messed up. Nope. Well, it's not finding the header. Oh, I moved the header. Didn't I? Components. Forms. Oh, okay. Put that back. I accidentally moved it. There we go. For some reason, I don't know what I was thinking there. All right, so let's try it again. Same issue. Let's try taking those back out. See if we still have no, okay. So it's something I did wrong here. Let me try taking out the form, see whether or not it's the form. If it's not the form, then it's the inputs. It's the form. Okay. Is it? Oh, it's a wrong name. There. Forms. So the end was getting applied to this section because I couldn't find the component there, I think. There we go. All right, now I have undefined coming through as my email and, well, actually all values. So that's definitely not what I want. So let's go back into our inputs and set the value there. Put that just through one extra layer of abstraction there. All right. Oh, really? Okay. I think maybe no. It's coming through as an empty string. Maybe it's the placeholder? Maybe I named it something wrong. Yeah, it's the placeholder. Okay. All right, so what did I? Oh, I didn't put a placeholder. So yeah, we don't want that to be anything if it's not provided. So there we go. Okay. And then we need a margin bottom. So let's wrap this up in an extra div here. Make it a form group. Do 4. Paste that in there. Give that a save. There we go. Cool. And now our button. So back into here. I know I saw a button up top here. So that's badge button. Here we go. Oop, 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 up. All right. let's go ahead and just do, oh, is that it? All right, well then, I'm used to seeing a lot more classes on buttons because I normally write on myself. So let's go ahead and just do this. So let's do buttons slash primary.edge. Oh no, wait, they have a button. So we'll do base and then primary, secondary, accent, ghost, and link. So this is the primary, so we'll leave the primary one here. Just like so. And then we'll create a new file called base, where we'll leave that one just like so. Secondary. I really don't think we need the rest. Well, maybe link. We'll do link. All right, and I do like my ghost buttons, so we'll do ghost too. All right, and then why don't we take the base and extend off of it with each. So here we'll have class. I normally do class name, but I believe that you can just do class. I'm going to give it a go here today. And then we'll do ATTRS for any additional attributes that you may want to apply to the button. And then we'll do type equals type and default that to button. And then here we'll have our slot content. So await slots main. All right. So that's our base. If we just call it as is, then it will just have that button class, which should just be that darker black colored one. This guy here. We have our ghost. So we should be able to just take that button and do at buttons dot base class of btn ghost, and then apply the slot into there. And I believe that should work, so we don't need to do that at all. Then we can just go ahead and copy that and paste it. So we have btn link here, primary here. I think this will work. And then secondary here. I can't read your name, I'm sorry, but it says why not use some cool front-end framework using AdonisJS as communicator, because it's really not needed. That's a bit overkill for what we're doing here. Yeah, gotta keep it simple. So there we go. And then we'll jump back into our sign up and we'll try to use our button. So at buttons, let's try our primary out here. Type will be submit. And sign up. And unexpected token. All right, I figured I would do something wrong within here. Take a look. It might be the class. It might need to be class name. I normally do class name, so that might have been what threw it off. Let me try changing to primary and see whether or not, yeah, that seems to be it. All right. Cool. So now we have our sign up form here. Let's go ahead and do our sign up action. And let's grab our request and our response, yeah, and off. We go and import the validator here. From at IOC. There we go. All right, so we're going to have a username, and it's going to be a string, and we want it to be unique for the table users, for the column ID, nope, username, sorry. And then we're going to have an email. That needs to also be unique for the column email. It also needs to be an email, so let's add that too. And then we'll have a password. Minimum length of 8. I feel like I'm missing a rule on the username. All right. Const data equals await request validate schema as our schema. Const user equals await user dot create data await auth login our user. And then return response redirect to route home. But you create your components like you will do within Vue.js, for example, so it's starting to be overthinking. Not really. So whenever you use inertia, you're adding in a bunch of JavaScript that's not necessarily needed. What I'm doing here is just adding some abstraction so that I don't have to rewrite classes over and over again or remember what the class is. Can we do something like custom request classes in AdonisJS like Laravel? So validation will be in that. Yeah. Just do a Node.js make validator. So if we run Node.js, there is a make validator, and that will add in its own validator file with an app, which you would then be able to, call, and it would just be request validate, and then you just provide in that validator. So it should be like something like auth validator or whatever you name that class there. So that's what that would look like. I'm not doing that here because we will only ever need to run this validation right here. So there's really not too much of a need to abstract this out. So yeah, let's go into our routes. Route.post sign up auth controller dot sign up as auth dot sign up. Give that a save. Let's jump back into our sign up page. There it is. And add that into our action. So route auth sign up. Yeah, sure thing. No problem. And let's give this a test. So I'm sure I did something wrong because it's Friday and the end of the day. So let's do test user 1. just do, I don't know why I'm doing test there. user1@gmail.com. Yeah, figured. All right. So let's take a look and see. So let's go ahead and just print out all of our Flash messages here. See what we're getting. Oh, you know what? Submit might not have gone through as the type on the button. Yeah, it did not. Okay, cool. So at least we have that narrowed down. So we have type being passed in there, but I'm not passing it through there. So let me just copy that. Okie dokie. And I clicked on the wrong one. Come back into here. And we should now have a type of button, type of submit. There we go. We do. Cool. I was going to say, because the error should have went into underneath the fields if there were any. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and test that. So let's put in a short password. So yeah, okay. So the error does come through, but the password value did not get picked, or the error did not get picked up on our password. Oh, no, it did. It's just all the way over here. Okay. Well, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and just fix that by taking out the text right, because it's not that big of a deal right now. All right. So there we go. Should be good to go ahead and get rid of our Flash message. And then we can give this a test. All right, cool. So we got redirected back to the home page. So that gives me a sign that it should have worked. Let's refresh our database and just double check that. We did indeed. All right. Cool, cool, cool. So let's go ahead and set up our header real quick to just show whether or not we're logged in or not. So right within here. So let's do nope, the home page is fine. We can leave that there. If auth user else end if. Okay. Let me go look and see what the drop down one was. Or I don't need to do that. And then we'll add in a logout on there. So what was the drop down markup? It's like this right here. Go ahead and give that a save or copy and drop that in here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do auth user username there. And then for this action here, we will do logout. Or I guess since we're doing sign in, sign up, let's do sign out. Is that all one word? Yeah, I think it is. All right, now let's go ahead and create that route. So route, we can do this as a get or a post, doesn't really matter. Log out, sign out. Auth controller dot sign out as auth sign out. Jump into our auth controller. Break that up real quick. Password public async. Sign out. HTTP context contract. All that we should need to do is grab response and auth. And we'll do await auth log out. I can't type anymore. Return response redirect back. Nope. because they might be somewhere off blocked. So let's do to route and just send them to the home page. All right. And then let's grab session as well, and let's plop something on the session here. We don't have flash messaging set up, so that would show up like in the top right corner or whatever, but we'll have that in the future. So we'll go ahead and put a message there for when that's there. So session.flash info. Shoot, what did I just hit? You've been logged out successfully. Okay. And let's jump back into our header and add that here. So href route auth sign out. Cool. And then we'll need to set up our login once we verified. Can it read properties of undefined reading username? So user's not there. Oh, right. Okay. Let's jump into our kernel. So that's start kernel. And right here, it's import app middleware silent auth. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and register that auth middleware as well. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so let's give that a refresh. Cool. Looks like it didn't save our auth state since I didn't have that in place already. So we can go ahead and try testing sign up again, just so we can verify that sign out does work. So let's do test user2 at gmail.com. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that is interesting. So I have auth login. I wonder if our user is creating. Yeah, we already verified that, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. All right. So we would get back a user there. That's peculiar. Auth user else. Okay, let me go into that welcome page and let's inspect our auth user, verify. Yeah, so we're there. We're logged in, so it's something with our header there. All right. It is a component, not a partial. So if we want the user to be in there, we need to provide it. Flub on my part. Okay, so, well, no, auth user should be in there though, shouldn't it? Because you should have access to auth. Let's test that out. Yeah, because we're not getting an error. So there's our auth. .user. All right. There's our auth user, so it is in there. Oh, I did it backwards, my gosh. I apologize. All right, so we have, yeah. Well, I guess the easiest thing to do would just be to inverse that. So if not auth user. There we go. So there's our test user 2. All right, that's a slap in the face. So we have our sign out here. Let's go ahead and try clicking that now. There we go. And so we're redirected back, and now we are signed out. So let's go ahead and do sign in. And then I'm going to call it a day after we do sign in, because evidently my brain is starting to shut down. So public async sign in show. This will have view, HTTP context contract, return view, render, pages, auth, sign in, and then I'm going to go ahead and just stub this so that I can create the route as well. All right, so routes. So we have sign up, sign up. Let's do get sign in auth controller.sign-in as auth sign in.show, and then route.post sign in auth controller.sign-in as auth sign in. Yes, but we do need show right there. There we go. Okie doke. And then let's duplicate what we have for our, already I had it open. Let's go ahead and copy our sign up, paste it, and rename it to sign in. And this one here will change from sign up to sign in. We don't need the username. Let's change the email to email. I think most of the time username comes first. Username/email. Change the name to UID and the type to text. So we could just take the type off there. And then we'll leave password on there and then sign in. All right. And now to actually allow them to use their username to log in, we want to go into config auth, and right here on UIDs, we want to add in that username. So username right in there. And then we should be good to go into our auth controller and finish up this guy right here. Request response and auth, it should be the same as all right. So const schema equals schema dot create. We'll have a UID. No. Well, yeah, we'll just do a lazy validation on it. So we'll verify that we got a value. So schema string, and then we'll have password schema string. We'll do no verification check on any additional rules. We'll just be very vague about it. And then we'll do const data equals. Let's actually pluck them out. So UID password equals await request validate schema as our schema. Actually, I do want to add it in a remember me. So let me go see what Daisy has for checkboxes, if anything. Checkbox, there we go. Look at that, I can copy that straight. Cool, cool, cool. Let's give that a save. I'm not going to create a component for that because I don't know how much we would need checkboxes throughout the app. So, yeah, what the heck. Inputs. Name that checkbox. All right, because really all that we should need to do is change the label. So label, and then type would stay the same. Oops. And then should be able to do something like that to add in the checked, and then name. We need a name on it. There we go. All right, so that should do it. I'm gonna break that down as well. Okay, cool. Let's actually add that into the form too. So sign in. Okie doke. I think that should do it. And then we can come back into our auth controller, add in remember me. I think that comes up as a Boolean. I can't quite remember. That's also optional. So let's make that optional. And then we can do remember me and default that to false if it's not provided. Auth attempt, and then we would provide in the UID, password, and then the remember me flag. We actually want to wrap this in a try catch. So we'll do try there, catch, and then we'll be very vague about our error. So we'll do session dot, oops. We want session.u as well. Session dot flash. We'll set this for the whole form, and then we'll do the email username or password provided is incorrect, and then we will return response redirect back. Otherwise, they should now be logged in, so we can redirect them really wherever. Do session flash success. Welcome back. Username. And then we will return response redirect, and we can do back or really wherever. Well, since back would be to the sign-in page, I guess we'll do to route. We'll just do the home page for right now until we actually have a page to send them to. And I think that's all we should need there. Can't get my scroll right. There we go. It was like on a half scroll there for some reason there. All right, so let's jump back into our sign in here, and we do want to do an error if there is a flash message for form. So let's find some kind of a button drop down middle. I don't know what a swap would be. Looking for an alert. There's an alert. And let's just grab the error right now. That'll suffice. We'll do the others as needed. So we'll come to our components. We'll do alerts, error, plop that in here, and then make that a slot. Cool. Jump back into our sign-in page, and then we can do a check at if flash messages.has form and if, and then we could do at alerts dot error. Oh no, wait. And you know what? Let's I was gonna debate on adding a prop option to that, but yeah, then we do flash messages get form. Okay. Yeah, I think that's right. And then we already set that up. So I guess we're okay to test unless I'm forgetting something. So, well, we do need to add it to the header so that we can get there easy. Right here. Sign in. There we go. All right, let's go over to sign in. The checkbox is all over there. All right. I don't know what the best option there would be. Let's just ignore it for right now. That's probably the best option. So, all right, let's put in test user 1. And all right, so we got back our email, username, or password provided was incorrect. And then we have test user 2. And there we go. So that one worked. I didn't mean to get the first one wrong, but I did. So, um, so cool. So we have our basic auth system up and working. So we're able to register, sign in, sign out. And I think since my brain's starting to go kaputs, we will call it quits there. But I want to thank you all for watching and for sticking around. And I will see you all in the next one. I do have a new lesson coming out Sunday, so be sure to stick around for that. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. My goodness.